Mm. All right, all right. Hey there, hey there. Wonderful Sunday to you all. Wonderful Sunday. I am very thankful that if you're hearing my voice, it's because you're still here. You're still alive and ticking. Oh snap! I never got. Dang it, Jim! I swear I just keep forgetting there are two sides to this. Oh boy. Go ahead, make sure I hit my one side. All right. Okay, now. So, much respect to everybody, and I thank you all for tuning in. So, wow, that's hot. That is really hot. Yeah, now I had to go grab me some coffee. I had to get some of that for the morning. So I have my morning. I got my morning mud, as we would call it. That's what we say. We say the morning mud. I know some people say Joe, but we already had that as a slang out here. We be like, nah, Joe. Let me stop it. I don't know. I just feel pretty good today. Some very good things happening in my life that I'm shocked, but at the same time I'm not. Just, I guess you can say, the timing of it. So it's definitely some things that I'm thankful for. Y'all don't mind me. I'm just getting my desk in order. I love things to be clean around me. You should too. Things must be organized and straight around me because it's just, it helps me think better. You feel me? That helps me think better. So what we're going to do is, for this Sunday fun day, right? We're going to go ahead and take it to church, but not in the way that you think. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take it to church. We're going to have some fun with it. Okay. And much respect to everybody who's tuning in. I definitely, I got my croissant and coffee. Oh shoot. I forgot my croissant. Wait, hold on. It's in the kitchen. All right. My bad, y'all. Okay. 1 second. All right. Now, real talk. Let's break bread. Respect to you. So let's go ahead. Let's get to this, right? Um, this is going to be interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, why don't people go to church as much? Hmm. And pastor, do you believe that pastor should always maintain, like, if you're a pastor, should you make sure that you keep full control of how you conduct yourself? Hmm. Just curious. That is still very hot. It's a good thing, though. So how do you feel pastors should conduct themselves? How do you think they should? And look, if pastor, like, let's say pastor kind of loses it one day during the service, like, do you look at pastor different, or do you say, nah, he's just having an off day? What's your take? Okay. Let's go ahead and get to this. Let's do it. This is what I'm gonna do. There we go. All right, so let's get to the first pastor. So apparently pastor goes off because have you guys ever felt like service was a little too long? You know, just you sitting there and you just like, man, I can't wait to go downstairs and get some coffee and croissants. Right? Right? You ever like kind of had that little, you know, you trying to stay awake? I remember that happening to me as a kid. Heck, I ain't gonna lie. I remember that happening to me as an adult a couple times. So we all know that there are times where you just might drift off for a second, you know? Maybe you had a long night, you know, before, you know, hangover, anything, right? Who knows? So let's go ahead and let's listen to this right here. Let's see what's going on with Pastor right here. And we just gonna have some fun with this today. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's go ahead and pull this up.
Talking. Hey, don't you lay your head back. I'm important. I'm somebody. Now you might do your.
Okay, so apparently pastor's on his way to go lay hands and put Holy Spirit back into this person.
English teacher that away, but I'm not teaching English. I'm teaching eternal life here. I love you. You know I love you. Have I convinced you I love you? Yeah. You better nod your head. Yes. All right. Come on, put it right there. All right. You stay awake and you listen to me. You say, well, he may never come back. Well, he ain't here now. And where have you been, Mr. Underwood? And I noticed on the calendar I'm supposed to marry y'all. What makes you think I'd marry you? You're one of the sorriest church members I have.
Damn. Pastor. You know, for a second, I was about to feel guilty hitting my J. Come on, Pastor. Wait a minute. These people want to get married. Pastor, what are you talking about? Are you serious? Okay, Pastor, listen. Let's try to bring it down some, okay? These are members of the church. How you just bust out and say you're one of the worst members I have in front of everybody? I thought that was for back in your chambers, Pastor. Let's keep going.
You're not worth 15 cents. And you want me to marry you to her? And you want to marry
You serious?
him, and he don't even know where he belongs, and you don't even know where you belong. Now, let me tell y'all, everybody here, how much I love these kids. Do you know I love you, sir? Stand up, big boy.
Wait a minute. You just told him, and then you call him big boy. So we know he got some weight on him. This just gets better and better. Well, God dang it, Pastor.
What? Do you know I love you? All right. Give me a little love. I'm the real deal.
Hey, why he giving them that look like, you know, like when a son trying to eye down his dad, because like son think he, you know, like he can take dad now, and dad give him that look like try that shit still if you want to.
All right, I know you are too, but you ain't been here. You can't get this in any other church in town. Now, y'all don't want me. All you got to do is tell me. We won't have a church fight, because I'll get my little Connie and we'll get in her little Buick Enclave. It's paid for, and we'll sell.
Did he say he gonna get some tonic? So now you bringing gin into the church? God dang it, Pastor.
What we need to sell, and we'll go on down the road and we'll find some little podunk church that don't know up from down, and I'll find me a dozen Joe's baskets who don't have a pot or a window and who will shout Jesus, and I'll give the rest of my life to them. Oh, Brandy.
What is he? Why are you, Pastor? Slow down, Pastor. Wait, hold on, Pastor. Just go back up to the podium, please, Pastor. Go back up to the podium for us and just read from the book. I want to go home soon.
She's a sweet girl, and she's got her children. Yes, y'all are good and y'all are fine, but your children will turn on you if you don't hold up the standard and the banner of God. And if they don't turn on you, you'll just produce nice little whirlians.
So if your kids don't turn on you, they just little worms?
Y'all keeping the camera on me back there in the little video room? Good. We're having trouble in the video room. There's no one finer than young Cox back there. And he comes down here and spends hours in that thing. But he has a little attitude.
Are you serious right now, bro?
Nigga, you been in jail 5 years now.
Man, it's only been 1,825 days, 6 hours and 13 minutes. She could have waited.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, why go back to jail, you know?
Oh, man, I ain't worried about jail, man. What the? You sound like a bitch.
Bitch!
Man, I ain't worried about jail. Shit, man, I don't give a damn about going to jail. Nigga, take me to jail.
Take me to jail?
Shit, lock me up.
Lock me up!
Throw away the kid.
Throw away the kid!
Adjustment that we're going to fix it. Brother Cox, you listening?
Okay.
Because Brother Cox, I can fix your attitude adjustment. Now, I don't care what your mama thinks and your daddy thinks. And I don't have a better friend than your mama. But mama, you get out of my way when I'm messing with that boy.
Where do they live? What town is this? What is going on right now? I'm waiting for Pastor to get back to the book. Pastor sound like he just be all around the neighborhood, just in everybody's stuff. And then he brings it to the podium on Sunday. Like that's his whole service, is just going off on everybody from the week before. This is crazy.
Because I'm his preacher. I'm yours when I'm talking to you, but I'm his when I'm talking to him. And last I checked, he's a grown man. And that video room ain't going to be a youth hangout. We might as well just fix this thing. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, if you don't know.
Pastor, I don't blame the youth for using the video room as a hangout, and you up on the podium using the podium as your venting station. You ain't supposed to be venting like this right now. You're supposed to be venting out that book with love on Sunday. Now I see why people come home from church angry sometimes. You ever came across somebody? You ever said to somebody right after they came back, like, didn't you just come from church? You ever came across that person? Like, I thought you just came from church. What's going on? Okay, all right. It's moments like this. You probably had Pastor going off like that. He called you big boy and everything else. I said, Mama, shut up, get out my way when I'm talking to your kids. Are you the dad, Pastor? You sound like
What you're doing wrong, son, you don't care about what I want to do right. Because if you loved me and you submitted to me, you'd know what my heart is and my message is, and you wouldn't go about establishing your...
No, Pastor. No. The people of the church don't submit to you. Your whole message is to get people to submit to Jesus, God, however you all want to word it. You're supposed to get people to submit to the will of God, not you. It's not about you. You're supposed to be humbled and thankful to the fact that you were even allowed, that you're even chosen, I guess, to have the discernment, which we clearly see you don't. But no. It's not about honoring Pastor. It's about honoring your personal relationship with our loving Creator. And I say that just to keep it neutral as far as so. And then when I say that, whatever name comes that you use, incorporate that. You fill in the blank with that. All right. Okay, now we're going to see. Should Pastor be the freshest and the flyest? You know, like, do you all really believe that? Like, nah, I don't want to hear from a pastor that dresses, not as good or better than me. I mean, not as good or worse than me. Like, what if Pastor was like super regular and stuff? Would you still listen to him? because I didn't realize that was an actual thing. Because folks like myself, we are so geared around the message more than the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's something that's being told to me, say a messenger came to me and they're not the most, they don't, they look shabby, right? They don't really look like they look scruffy, things of that nature. And the message that they have for me is how to grow my crops much better. But here it is, I'm dismissing this person because they don't, you know what I mean? Like, maybe their truck is really old or don't even have one, so on and so forth. They just look downtrodden. But whole T, they know all about the land, farming, cultivation, the whole nine. They know all about the right time, seasons, how to get this to grow better. They can just absolutely help you. What's really good for fertilizer, the whole nine. Like, I had no clue that believe it or not, pigeon droppings. There are people who farm pigeons and they just house them and feed them and just let them breed and do their thing. And they just scoop up, they get all the droppings, and a lot of it, but they say it's awesome fertilizer. So things of that nature, when you learn from people how to manipulate the environment, as in make the land work for you. It's set up one way. Can you manipulate it and mold it and make it into what it is that will work for you? Now, I just like to give a little, because we about to really get into some other stuff. I don't know what's up with us. My bad, y'all. So the fanciness of this, right? So let's go ahead and get into this one. Boom. So let's go ahead and pull that up. I thank you all for tuning in. The time now is 11:08 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. Let's go ahead and see what happens if, like the tithe offerings, tithe. Now, how do you all see tithes? Do you all see like tithes being, how can I put it? Do you see it being mandatory, or should that be like, if you want to, not when you got it, when you want to? Because it could be a lot of times you got it, you just don't want to. So what's the difference, right? But what's your take on that? Now, me personally, I do believe that it should be a moral obligation to do that for the church, because that's where you go to congregate, to fellowship. You get your healing there. At least I'm naming all of the things it's supposed to be for. I know people, it could, but like what it's originally set up for, right? You go there and you get all those things, and they say it's not funded by the government, but but so it's not. So it's considered nonprofit, if you want to say. So how do you see the setup of tithes? Like, should you give tithes? Let's go ahead and listen what happens.
Church at the Well, Kansas City, was caught on video calling his congregation poor, broke, busted, and disgusted after they still hadn't bought him an expensive
Pastor, you calling the congregation? Pastor, it's broke people that go to church and pray that they can get this job so they can get more money. There are people that even come there just to pray that they hit their number. It's people praying for money. Why are you gonna do that? Why you shit on their dreams, Pastor? It's Sunday. It's Sunday, Pastor. You don't. Dang, man. You told everybody that they broke. Pastor, how you telling the congregation that they broke? What is going on?
Movado watch he asked for a year ago while reportedly delivering a sermon about taking care of God's shepherd.
So you cussed out the congregation because they didn't get you a Movado?
Are you serious right now, bro?
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me.
And that, I'm telling you, now listen, when people talk about ego, yeah, E-G-O. Yeah, you talk about ego, that is the pure definition of it. Right there, raw. I ain't even let it play that long and off rip. Nothing but blasphemy. That's ego, because when you have an ego, E-G-O, you edge God out of your life. He edged God out because he's now standing up there and trying to now play the position in form of. What do you mean honoring you? Yourself included, along with everybody there, is there to honor the one or Trinity. However, you all are to honor Jesus or God the Father. However, just work with me, you guys. You all are there to honor, yourself included. You are supposed, look, you were, I guess, weren't you chosen to be the voice for God? To tell people to do what? So God gave you the voice to tell people to honor you with a Movado? Listen, I ain't gonna go too deep in it, but I promise you, this is what I mean by like it's certain positions like I'd be so scared of playing with, because if you really believe in, let's say, that uncomfortable place you can go to after this, those are like the first. Those are the first. The ones who God put, the ones who chose to take a position, because you know what happens? You know the worst thing you can ever do? Misguide people or steer people away from God. So like him doing that, if it was people that was to like leave the church and say, forget this, I give up on religion and faith, that's on him. That's blood on his hands, essentially. That's spiritual blood on his hands. You ran people away from my word because of your selfishness and greediness, your ego, E-G-O, edge God out. That's what that is right there. Now that's what you call ego. Let's keep listening.
I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. I'm not worth.
What? Hey, Pastor, if somebody's eating McDonald's, that mean they probably not doing too good. No shot to McDonald's, but come on, huh? Don't nobody think of what's really, when we say McDonald's, we think dollar menu. We think 4 for $5s and we think, 2 for $2s and all of that. Let's just cut it out, Pastor. So you want to take their McGriddles and sweet tea? They can't even have a McGriddle and sweet tea. They can't get a hash brown, Pastor. Them hash browns are all right when they fresh. They can't get a hash brown. Are you serious? I'm not worth, hold on. Because I have to play this. Hold on, man. No, he did not start this whole congregation off just like this. Wait a minute.
Video calling his congregation poor, broke, busted, and disgusted after they still hadn't bought him an expensive Movado watch he asked for a year ago while reportedly delivering a sermon about taking care of God's shepherd.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your steak.
And it's people in the audience saying, preach. There are people in the audience backing him. That gotta be his wife.
St. John.
That's if he go. Let me shut up.
Nick.
Let me shut
Y'all
up.
can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. Come on. I ain't worth your Prada.
Is the congregation worth yours, Pastor? No. Real question, Pastor. Right now, is the congregation worth yours? Is the congregation worth? Look. Find the oldest member in your congregation. Find old lady, auntie something, or old man, uncle something, and give them your parking spot, which we all know you got the best one. Give up your parking spot. If you have a really, really nice car, donate that car, downgrade, and put some of that money to the church. So have something that is paid off. It's a up-to-date car. It looks nice too. It's nice and clean. It ain't nothing shabby. These newer model cars are really nice. Everything is stepped up, even the basic ones. Why don't you do that? Do you know what a shepherd does? Lead. Why you walking everybody off a cliff? Like why you just a marching, and it's just the cliff, and then you just step aside and you just have them keep going. Why you doing that? You know, shepherds are supposed to lead. David was a shepherd, and it said he was an awesome shepherd. He did know, and then from there he was chosen, and he led an entire army to multiple battles and victories. Right? I know basics. I know he took over after Saul. Saul didn't do God's, I know. I believe it was the prophet Samuel who came to him. If I'm not, I think so. Or Sam, one of them. Anyway, let's keep on going. I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out. But this is crazy, Pastor.
I'm not worth your Gucci.
No.
You can buy a Movado.
No, you're not, because that's expensive. So if my nice stuff, I want nice things for me too. I want nice things. I actually want to have things around me that I'm like, yeah, you know what? I am proud of my surroundings. I don't want to give everything away. I also have a family. So no, Pastor, that's not conducive. Like, I came here for the word, not for an auction, You can buy a Movado watch. I want to know, who is that keep on saying, amen, come on, right? Who are you, lady? Who are you? And look, I bet you, now, Lord forbid, that's somebody grandma. Kids be so mad they can't get ice cream money and stuff. Because she got to send that to Pastor for the Movado.
Watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses.
Are you serious right now, bro?
You serious?
What y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. When y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all.
Pastor, but I think you're forgetting something, Pastor. Who's over you? And everybody and everything in that church. Matter of fact, who's over you and everything on this planet? Who's over you, including the angels? I'm wondering. The book that you read them about, right? The Bible, that actual Bible that you read these people, is that Bible, are the stories about you, Pastor? Are the stories about you? Who are you supposed to be teaching the people about? I'll wait. Don't get quiet on me now, Pastor. You've been doing a lot of talking. McDonald's money, Gucci money, all of this other stuff. I can't get your bus fare. You don't need to get here. Just mail me the bus money. I know it's only $2.15. Mail me that. And I'll just go ahead and set up a Skype.
I'm over your cheap expressions.
Funderburk has since released an apology video, saying the video clip does not reflect my heart or my sentiment toward God's people.
Are you
Yet,
serious
that's not
right now, bro?
discernible in the clip.
Good evening. My name is Carlton Funderburk. I'm the senior pastor of Church of the Well, right here in Kansas City, Missouri. I want to take this moment to address the now viral video clip.
I don't never trust no nigga rocking back and forth while talking to me. That is, I don't know why. It just feels sinister. You keep doing this while talking to me, you ain't right. Something when you do this, and y'all know, y'all ever seen people just, you know, in certain like little meetings and stuff, and they just keep like doing stuff like this and everything. And I ain't even like going. I'm just saying like See that now a lot of stuff is starting to connect, which I see that there's a disconnect up here with him.
Of me from a sermon given August the 7th, 2022. Though there is context behind the content of the clip, no context will suffice to explain the hurt and anguish caused by my words. I've spoken to those I am accountable to, and
let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all believe that, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all believe that like apologies work on situations like that? Like honestly, do you believe that apologies, like that's good enough to just go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? You just say you sorry real quick. Is that cool? That's all right to do? Terrible. Terrible. All right, let's go ahead and get to this next one right here. All right, so hold on one second. All right, so when we think about Pastor, when we think about all of the things that they do, you know, just all the different type of I guess you could say things that happen. Like for example, right? So we have pastors who perform, they say miracles. How much do you believe in the miracles that people that they perform? You let me know. Like, I don't know, for example, this.
Man of is commanding life.
Rise up!
Rise up!
Look at him. Why is he looking like? I'm sorry. He got to play this. He don't even know what to do. Why is this girl leaning away from him like? Ah, shit. Shoot. It's my leg. It's my leg. Then why aren't they around the world? Just, I mean, do you not know the billionaires? Like, this is out of this world, man. Come on, man. Goodness, this is out of this world, yo. Why is everybody's mouth always open like that? What is that? Why are you doing that? I don't have a clue. Why are you doing this? Peace, man. What? Bruh. Tired of y'all. Tired of y'all. I'm tired of y'all, man. Why come out? So hold on. So wait a minute. So you was dead, you came back to life. So apparently they put you in the trash can. Bruh, what is going on here, man? So these are the miracles that they performing out here. I don't know. Eat my daggone croissant. This is silly. Let's keep going. All right. I got something else. I got something else for you. Hold on. Absolutely out of this world. Now, speaking of the, you know, all of those things like the miracles and what have you, right? So let's go to this right here. Here we go. Let me type this in. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm not the fastest typer. I'm not at that point yet. I ain't all the way there. I ain't all the way there. All right, so we just kind of gonna go back on some things real quick. All right. So I'm gonna need us to remember all of this right here, okay? Because all of this right here, these are the reasons why, honestly, people just be like, I guess you can say, scared to go to church. Let's just be honest, okay? This is the reason why people be scared to go to church. Now let's get it. Wow. You gotta remember all of these things. Now let's go. All right, here we are. Let's do it. Terrible.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with you voting for Barack Obama? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
I don't think that's in the word, Pastor. I don't think that's. I don't think it's. Can somebody tell me, is that Old Testament? You niggas is crazy. Which is that, New or Old Testament, or is that in one of the books they took out, like Enoch and Ruth and things of that nature? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Did they think about that? I don't know. Now, I wonder, right, when miracles were performed back in the biblical days, did it look like that? Like, so when the Messiah, the son of Mary, said, take your bed, get up and walk, did he do that? Like, was it like that? Or was it like my African homie with his mouth open? I ain't even going, nope, I ain't getting me on that. But look, was it like that? Did he get up like them Africans did and take his bed off some like zombie stuff, sitting in the pews with a plate of food in his lap that looked like it's about to slide right out as he got on white Michael Jackson gloves? I'm just curious. Okay, so I do believe the miracles took place. I actually do. I believe that people saw things that we will like probably not witness like that again. And I do believe that there are some people that do still possess certain elements of, I guess you can say, the IK of magic, but then that gets into a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like when we do see things, the first thing people say is, that's gotta be what? A demon. If I do something magic right now, if I do like real actual magic in your face, most people will say he sold his soul. What's the difference? I know they're in a church. Last time I checked, the devil has infiltrated churches too. Last time I checked, like the enemy of man has infiltrated. So what's the difference? I don't know. Let's see. Why is everybody turning in circles?
What did he just say right here? What they say, Brother Malcolm?
But they that are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ.
But who?
But their own belly.
Jake the Snake, Long the Midget, Dollar the Rich Pimp, all these folk. Old Lion float through Joel Osteen, old Sorry Paul.
Why, pastors? Why y'all keep coming to church bringing like y'all like weak with y'all? Why y'all keep doing that? Why y'all gotta keep bringing the whole week with you? You don't know how to just see. The thing is, people come up here to, you know, this is like the end. They want to get their relief from the week we just had, right? So think about it. Sunday, then we go right back into Monday. So they want to go into the week with a good word. You do know that, right, Pastor? People actually do come to church for the good news, right? Daily bread. It's supposed to be a good word, not you coming to church to vent. It's like, bro, why don't you just set up a panel? Just set up a panel.
All the white, old knuckle dragon looking Joyce Meyer, all of them, they ain't serving God, they serve their own belly.
Yes, sir.
Carlton Pills and all the rest of them.
Yes, sir.
Earl Pope Muhammad, all of them, they ain't serving on our God, they serve their own belly.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
And by good word.
And by good word.
And
Woman got her loose. Now that hypocrite don't come out with a movie. I hope none of my members ain't dumb enough to go see it. Then that sinner put up there and gonna have you something. You come here and sinner prayer, a sinner prayer. No, you gonna.
This is why I'm serious. I do. I get it now. You know what? I can't. You know, I'm gonna have more understanding, like when I come across a person that actually just came from church. I'm gonna have more understanding, like, okay, I get it now. I see. Okay, that's what it is. You coming back from church upset because you just had to sit there for 2.5, 3 hours and listen to him do this. I see why now. I didn't know that this what goes down. Cause see, when I was going to church and stuff like that, I remember it was very chill. It was really quiet. The church that I was in was very, very quiet. It was real chill. Oh, they're messing with me again. Let me see something here. All right, there we go. All right, now. So yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get back to it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and see what else we got up on here. Let's see what else we got up on here.
Boaz has some relatives, and if you don't watch it, you won't get the one God has for you. You'll get his relatives. To the girls, I found this on the internet. Boaz is spelled B-O-A-Z. Everybody say B-O-A-Z. And so he's got some relatives called broke ass, po ass, lying ass, cheating ass, dumb ass, drunk ass. Don't go out with him. Cheap ass. Turn to somebody and say, I dated him. Locked up ass, good for nothing ass, lazy ass, and especially his third cousin beating your ass. Wait on your Boaz and make sure he respects your ass. Now there's your word. You wanted a word?
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Quit dating anything on two legs. Let God take you through some loneliness. Let God take you through the wilderness.
Sunday morning started out like any Sunday at Millsboro Church. The Abrams family. He was there, me and little Cody and wife and the kids and everybody. And he's preaching on the signs. I seen him right.
Yeah, this that one pastor. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Let me just hold on. Let me see something here. Hold on.
Coming up to the Bible stand there, and he had blood on his shirt.
He was coughing like really bad.
Yeah, this is supposed to be that crazy thing where like they try to prove that they're like the anointed or something, and what they do is they allow a poisonous snake to bite them, and then they like don't call for help. So unfortunately, I think this guy didn't make it. Because yeah, unfortunately, but it's like that's a heck of a way to go. Like that's out of this world. I don't know what to say about that one. Definitely rest in peace to him. I don't ever make fun of anybody who was crossed over. But just this was like really, really not smart. So I'm just going to get past this one. I'm gonna get past this one. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We were talking about Lot. You've been on alcohol and drugs. There's 15 devils. The Lord.
I'm sorry. First of all, bro, you can hurt somebody's neck, everything. Like, you're not just smushing my head back like that, bro. You ain't doing all that. I'm sorry. I mean, you just like that's smushing somebody. Like where I'm from, that's total disrespect. You got to get you got to get hands put on you for that. Feet as well.
Out of him, you foul devils, in the name.
What the fuck are you out of your damn mind?
What do you call us?
In the name of Jesus, get ready. This is the power of God. Come out of us. This is the power of God. This is the power of God. This is the power of God.
And see, this is what I'm saying. Like when I see things like this, I wonder, like for real, when we read the word and the Son of Mary, the Messiah, when he went around and performed miracles, did it look like this? I really do. I wonder, like, how did it look? Like what was it hitting for? I'm so serious. Like, that's the main thing that I be wondering. Like, what did that look like? And much respect to salute to everybody on this side of the building. Okay, now. But like, seriously, how did it look? How did it look? And salute to everybody over here on the YouTube side as well. Thank you all for tuning in, Instagram as well as YouTube. Much respect to you all. The time right now is 11:38 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. But nah, seriously though, like how do these things work? Adjust this a little bit. There we go. It's crazy. Let's go ahead and get back to it.
God, this is the power of God. This is the power of God.
The kiss from Sister Abigail. Trying to go to the top rope. Right into the Superman punch. And there goes Bray Wyatt. I know what this is called.
Now I wonder, right? What exactly was supposed to have? All right, so when they do that, what exactly is supposed to be happening? That's all I want to know. Like, you tell me what exactly is supposed to be taking place here? Like, I don't know, miracle wise, like, because I never understood it. Never understood it. And I got one more video for us, something on it slightly different. No, let's go ahead and get to it. Matter of fact, I have to go inside of my archive. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you very much. So let's do this. Let's get right here. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now let me go ahead and remove so I can add. There we go. Just give me 1 second, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get to this right here. Boom. Here we go. So let's see what we got on this one right here. Let's see what we got on this one right here. Boom. I'm gonna do this. All right, now. Let me see something. Hold on. There we go. There we go. Now I just got to pull my right one up. There we go. Okay. I don't know what that sound is. It just keeps, I don't know what, I think it's my buddy. Let me see. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me get into here. Now that I'm here, I apologize deeply. Forgive me. So let's do this. All right, so let's go ahead and test this one out. Let's see what we got right here, right? So, y'all tell me what y'all think it is. Let's listen real quick. Let's see what we got. Pull up screen. Wow. Let's get into it.
Russell Brooks, it's a woman, an African-American woman, and she's questioning RFK.
That's here. She's the lady here in my state. She's on a lot of paperwork, like court paperwork and stuff. You'll always see her name up on the top of a lot of different things. Let's go.
Jr. for the nomination of Secretary of Health. And she's reading quotes from some documents about vaccines. And he says that in this document, he said that Black people don't need so much vaccination because they don't have as many antigens.
The particular antigens that Blacks have a much stronger reaction.
All right, so I don't keep up with this type of things too much. Is that apparently this must be a bad thing? Are they saying that like we get sick easier or something now? I don't know. Do we not get told that we're the leading cause of this and that, diabetes and everything else? So is this just something else that we're more prone to than others? Because a lot of people would say it's due to the fact that we're not in our natural habitat land, which you adapt. I promise you, us Negroes of today are not the Negroes of yesterday. Let's keep going.
They don't, something about the antigens in Black people is different than the ones in white people. So the distribution of vaccination should be different.
Are they saying that like to give it out? Like, so are they saying that we're like second in line? I don't know. Somebody tell me if you know.
So Black people, it's like that same thing where they say Black women don't feel pain in hospitals, especially during pregnancies and shit. That's why they barely give them any medicine for pain. And that's why a lot of Black women die in hospitals. There's a lot of mortality,
Wow.
Black baby mortalities in hospitals because of the treatment of African Americans. And this has been going on for a long time. How they've treated Black people in medicine, have been horrific. You know, the Dr. Mims.
You know what's crazy? It's so crazy. So, you know, it's Sunday, give, you know, a little testimony. So, my father himself, right? So he's still alive, you know, he's home with my mother. He actually lost both his kidneys. So my father, I've told this story before. My father used to suffer from migraine headaches. He was a migrainian. Anybody knows about migraine headaches? They're not headaches, they're migraines. When you have a migraine, complete darkness is still too bright and complete silence is still too bright. So he lost both his kidneys due to the fact that the doctor he had was a good doctor, you know, decent doctor and stuff, but he prescribed him a medication that took away the migraine headaches, but it killed his kidneys. My father, he had to be on dialysis and all of that. You remember them days? Had to go back and forth to have stents put in him, the whole nine. My father has had his entire life changed because he had migraine headaches, and the medication that he was given, he said it was great. Like, cause we actually remember my dad not having like when I said he had them, I mean had them, like it was a weekly thing, a couple days out of the week. And it was horrible for us because I remember having to leave the house because I couldn't take care of them scream. I used to have to hear my father scream like he was being in there, like he was being tortured, which essentially he was. So yeah, like, you know, as a child, that is some of the trauma I remember growing up to, hearing my father in there saying, God, just take me, because he couldn't take it no more, right? So he said he wanted to try anything to get rid of those migraines. So he went on ahead, he tried the medication, and it destroyed his kidneys. So him saying that, me directly, I can dial that man's number right now. That's what happened to my dad. And that's what makes it so crazy, my accident being on his birthday. That's what's so wild. I mean, you know, again, when we're talking about how just things work out in life. But let's keep on going. I digress. My mic is muted.
This guy, what's that guy? Dr. Mims, who was the father of gynecology. They just took down his statue in New York City. He would do experiments on Black women slaves, gynecological experiments on Black women slaves with no anesthesia. All these different doctors would just literally sexually abuse Black women slaves so they can get studies on gynecology. And then they would put them in medical books and pretend like they worked on white women, which is unbelievably, horrifically atrocious as shit.
Now, I don't know how many of you guys knew that. I actually, yes, that is a part of our history. I didn't know that. I know now. I'll look a little bit more into it now, because anytime I hear stuff like this, I always then go like pop, because I'm always inquiring. I always want to learn and know something new. Let's keep going.
This has been the history of the medical field. I mean, just recently, there was a woman that was breaking Black baby bones. Who's this cunt that did this shit? But she was a nurse who was breaking bones of African-American babies, Black babies. This cunt, who I hope rots.
I think I heard something about that before.
In hell and gets the same thing done to her in hell. So a lot of times African Americans go to hospitals, they don't want to go. If you talk to old African American people, old Black people, they go, I don't want to go to no hospital. I don't want to go.
You know what? I can't front, like even on excuse me, even on the video that I have, a few videos down on my page when I was in the hospital for my surgery not too long ago, which in a little bit I have to go change my bandages. Yeah, I have a hole in my leg right now, about the size of a penny, about the size of a dime. It's probably about 3 inches deep in my leg. Yep. It's crazy. I have to like stuff it with gauze. It's pretty damn nasty. But it's, it's what I got to do. I tell you this much, you're definitely about to see me back moving around again a lot more. And that's something I look forward to, especially with the weather open up. I got some big plans for the summer, so I'm definitely preparing myself for that. So yeah, I'm happy about that. Definitely happy about that. Let's go ahead and get it.
For no hospital. Even Richard Pryor said it. He said, I don't want to die in a hospital shit. I want to be in the street where someone can see my ass.
Yep, because I was saying it to him in there. I was like, man, I don't want to be there. I said, I want to go home. You going to stay here overnight? I don't know about all that. Let's see if I get up out of this. Sure enough, I made sure I was discharged. I don't like to stay there. Plus, I mean, it's just, the limitations and stuff. Like, I'm trying to be stuck up in there, man. Quarantined to a bed and stuff. I already had to do time incarcerated, 7 years for that. No, I'm good. I'm done. We free men. Like, I love my home because it's mine and it's comfortable.
That's real shit. So RFK answers this question, goes, I didn't say that. What I said was, I said that Black people don't have as many antigens, and I didn't really mean it like that. This is the guy that's supposed to be the Secretary of Health with that voice.
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland.
Are you teaching singing? Lessons too. I want to teach you how to sing. Senator Alsobrooks, it's a woman, an African-American woman, and she's questioning RFK Jr. for the nomination of Secretary of Health. And she's reading quotes from some documents about vaccines. And he says that in this document, he said that Black people don't need so much vaccination because they don't have as many antigens.
The particular antigens that Blacks have a much stronger reaction.
They don't, something about the antigens in Black people is different than the ones in white people. So the distribution of vaccination should be different. So Black people, it's like that same thing where they say Black women don't feel pain in hospitals, especially during pregnancies and shit. That's why they barely give them any medicine for pain. And that's why a lot of...
Really? See, I don't know about this whole, of course, I'm not a black woman and I've never been in labor. So never will be. But I'm just saying, like, I didn't know that that's how they did, that they go on my sisters. I had no clue about this. These are the little pockets and facets of life. Even myself, I'm not too hip to this, but I'm definitely learning right now. This is interesting, actually.
Black women die in hospitals. There's a lot of mortality, Black baby mortalities in hospitals because of the treatment of African Americans. And this has been going on for a long time. How they've treated Black people in medicine, have been horrific. The Dr. Mims guy, what's that guy? Dr. Mims, who was the father of gynecology. They just took down his statue in New York City. He would do.
Wow. Okay. My bad. I had that running again. Now that one is interesting. I'm going to tell you like this. What I've always wondered is how is it that I don't know, like, I just still wonder, like, how do we know these things? Like, you see how he was able to pull up what used to happen to us, things of that nature, but yet somehow or another, we still keep falling for the okie dokes when it comes to like being tested on and everything. This test still being ran on us in our hoods. A lot of these things, like, for example, when they just like keep letting certain ones of us go, knowing that we're either going to have our own off us and or we're going to off someone else, that's an experiment. Like, we're still being experimented on. The foods, things that they put out there, that we may consume and stuff. I'm not the best person at all of that, even as a chef, but I am very much so mindful of what it is that I do consume. I don't just take in anything, and definitely keep a nice amount of water in your body. Definitely always do that. It's very, very good for flushing you out and for the skin. We all know that. Along with other things. Energy as well. It actually gives you energy. Key to life. But like, seriously though, why is it that we keep falling for what it is that we be going through? Like, we know that it's a lot of violence in our hoods, right? Now, we definitely have the money to go ahead and fix a lot of things. I just be wondering, what is it about that we just don't? What is that? That's the one I do. Sometimes I wonder why. Like, what? Now I would say this. I totally get it. So many of us, we have our own lives, we got to work, so on and so forth, and everything else. Man, I totally get that. But what I also know is that I have me a certain amount of duty. Right now, the thing is that that's why I always say your purpose. You got to make sure that I ain't even changed my banner. That's why you always got to make sure that you definitely stay on that purpose, because when you stay on your purpose, then you know how you can contribute and do everything that you need to do in the way that you can. You know how to do that because you're on a purpose. You got that. You see? But like, I don't know. Like, I keep hearing, like, sometimes what I wonder too, I wonder also, I'm saying it, I'm asking this question. This is just for us to think about, that's all. Or for just you to think about. Do you ever ask yourself, like, do we like the pain? You ever ask yourself that? Like, do we actually, I gotta go get me another bottle when I step out. Do we actually like the pain? And yes, I am always cleaning my hands. I don't know why. I randomly just wash my hands like 4 or 5 times a day. I just randomly do it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just always got to look at my hands and wash them. So what is that? Do you think we like the pain? I mean, seriously, I'm just curious about that. Like, when we talk about these things and when we will go off in a heartbeat about something that really gets to us, or something that we're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't like. What is it about that we can articulate what we do not like and how much we do not like it, but for whatever reason, we do not change what it is that we do not like? I just wonder. That is something I do. I wonder that often. Like, what is it about that we know we have the money for things, we know we have all of this, but for some reason we just keep on falling for the okie doke and doing the same thing over and over again. There are some things in my life, I would say myself included, I'm learning. I'm still growing on a lot of stuff. I don't know everything. Pull this. Give me 1 second. Where you at? You here somewhere. You here somewhere. Let me see. Let's go ahead and do it. Bow. But nah, seriously though. I do. I sit there and I wonder. So you saying, all right, so the healing, right? Like laying hands, the whole nine, people jumping up, even coming out the coffins. Cool. You ever sit back and wonder how much is incorporated with a spiritual mixture as well as just medicine? Like, just follow me. Like, back in the days, healing used to have a lot to do with like roots and herbs and rituals and, you know what I'm saying? Like things of that nature. And of course we move forward, we progress. Now we get to like injections and vials and pills, so on and so forth, right? So I just wonder, like, so again, back in the day when it came to healing, like sick, injuries, all of that, it was a much more spiritual. Like, yeah, they incorporate like roots and herbs and all of that, like rub this on it and all of that, wrap it in this big leaf, and they did all of that. But over time, it started to shift, right? It's now shifted, and now it's where it is today, right? And from what I know, you want to know the thing that's really wild about medicines too? Am I the only one that notices, like, they'll have a commercial for a medicine, right? And they'll be like, take Prilotec. Prilotec is good for acid reflux. See your doctor for Prilotec, right? And so you'll get it for that one thing. But then they'll have like a million things that you got to watch out for. Prilotec may cause internal bleeding, lost in one eye, irregular sex drive. You know, all this, like, whoa, you know, a gain of water weight, all kinds of stuff. You may have nightmares, may have cravings for pickles and pizza. Like, I don't understand. What is all of this coming with this medicine? Back in the day when we had medicines and we healed, it wasn't no whole bunch of million side effects. The only side effect was you healing, like, think. So yes, the medicines are, I would say, like for pain pills, I would say we got stronger, like things that could really just take that pain right away, right? We got little shots and stuff. It's instant. It's more modern, right? It's what they would call cleaner, right? The way it's set up. But honestly, where did that go? You see? So that's why I'm trying to figure out, was there a certain amount of God incorporate, you know, the spiritual? Because not only would they put these things over you, you know how it looks. They laying down, they sick and sweating. There's some kind of white vapor smoke around their face that they, you know, they burning some kind of something like or whatever. And then they're also like chanting, they're saying a bunch of different little seances and rituals that they know. And that's how healing works. So now we get to the point where it's like, what's going on with this today? Why are we given medicines that do way more destruction to the body possibly than what it is that medicine is supposed to heal for? And if that's the case, is it even really medicine? I just wonder that. You see, these are things that I be thinking about when I'm like, that's why I'm the type, I'm real weary about like if I got a headache or something, I'll just do what I can. Hopefully I can lay down, you know, just lay down and sleep it off. I'll just turn off the lights, close the blinds and stuff, make it dim, make the house quiet. Well, it's already quiet. I'll just do that before I do anything else. And if I really, really have to, okay, I take the medication I get now simply because, you know, I ain't no getting past that pain too much. That's a level. That's a level that'll bring giants down. It's a level that'll bring down giants. When you talking about the physical scale, I ain't never felt nothing like that. But and even then I don't like it and working my way down, you know, because that stuff, you know, like even down to like the medicines that they would give back then, back during another time of healing, these medicines, I'm not saying nothing wasn't ever addictive, but I'm just saying like even down to those properties of the whole being hooked on things, like they would be able to heal you. You got pain, something sore, whatever, throbbing, the whole nine, spasm. Like they had amputees back then. There were people who lost fingers, limbs, and all of that. Animal attack, anything. I mean, it was things like that happen. But what did they do? We know about burning the ends and stuff. We know about that. You know what I'm saying? Put heat to it, stop the nerves. Basics, right? But like when they would then heal them, I don't remember them having a whole. But now I know like poppy seeds and things like that. All of these things have always been around. So we know about the opioids and all that peyote. We know about all of these things that definitely have been around, along with a number of others. But for some reason, they were able to more so use these and not have such a larger outcome of overdosing and everything. I don't know. Was there a bunch of like, okay, we give you this medicine, and then next thing you know, they're supposed to be healing from maybe a battle wound or something, or just fell from a tree, anything, just an injury, and now they're addicted to this leaf or something. We all know the coca plant. All of these things have been around. You know, aloe vera. All of these things have been around long time, right? And it's crazy how, like, you know, it's like it's medicine that you'll be given, but then simultaneously this medicine could possibly, like, and I'm not telling people don't take that. I'm not saying that at all. No, especially like, you know, if it's something like, you know, diabetes, your insulin, whatever. Well, I'm telling you, man, stay to it. Do what you got to do. My father, you know, he takes his medicine. My mother, she also has to take medication as well because she, you know, her hips, you know, my mother just had hip surgery. My mother's fine. She exercises every day and all of that. My mother's very healthy for her age, very healthy. But she has two bad hips, and that's happened to her. You see what I'm saying? So I do recognize how these things happen. Let me see something, chill. And then I just got one more funny one for us before we go ahead, snatch on up out of here. So what do y'all think about, you know, remember, I believe we was talking about our senses, right? And how smell is so incorporated to people. You remember that? All right. So if anybody did happen to see what I had a little bit earlier, that is what we were talking about. Ah, boy. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and put the, you know, that whole scent to the test, right? So let's see what we got for this one right here before we get up out of here. Because definitely I'm going to go enjoy my Sunday. You guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. The time right now was 12:06 p.m. East Coast Standard Time. Let's go. Hold on. All right, so hold on. So here we go. Let's get it.
Boy, all right, a big boy, and he's blindfolded, and this guy's having him do a smell test on which burger is which from different fast food restaurants.
You serious?
And he's nailing this shit. I mean, Stevie Wonder couldn't do this shit. I mean, he's nailing it. He's sniffing going, that's Burger King.
It's Burger King.
That's Wendy's.
It's Wendy's.
You serious?
Yo, this shit is crazy. But I think I know who that kid is. That kid is, he's one of NDO's partner. You know NDO, No Days Off? It's the big Liberian dude that be walking around like this. He's the bodybuilding dude, right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that dude, that's his boy. He be kicking the food out of his hand. That's that dude.
Man, oh man. Native, what's going on? What's going on, fam? What's up with you? I can't hear you. Hold on. I'm trying to hear you. You on mute.
Oh
there
yeah,
we go.
yeah. I was saying happy.
How you feel?
Can you-
Yeah.
I actually was in the market just moving and shaking, and I was listening and I was listening to what you were saying about the different quote unquote new medications being essentially toxins. And what
Please
I
talk to
found,
me. Yeah.
this is what's going on, right? When you look at all the food that you consume, and you like, now shout out to the Yuka app, YUKA. That app will have you not eating anything because it tell you exactly what you eat, and what it's gonna do to you. Okay, and everything they got a barcode on. All right.
This is called the Yuka Act. The Yuka.
Yuka
Okay.
app, YUKA.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
right there got me eating ice sandwiches at this point. So here's the thing. It's not so much like we got like a couple things going on at the same time that's causing one problem. Back in the day, food didn't have a bunch of preservatives, right? And color.
Right.
It's-
No preservatives. Right.
When you look at the fact that on the label it says, hey, this preservative and this coloring is in a safe dosage. You see what I'm saying? That's for the actual item, but that's not the safe dosage for somebody actually eating said item every day. So that's what people need to realize. And truth be told, the health industry is kind of jumping off of the food industry. So when you eat all these chemicals that are preserving food for shelf life and coloring, right? That's having an effect on your body that now is counteracted with these crazy medications. But at the same time, it creates a new industry because both industries rely on one another. If you was eating whole food, organic food, minimally processed food, right, you would have less ailments, right? Less gut issues, right? So you would go to the doctor less, you would need less medication. But the way the system's set up, oh no, they gonna stay rich because what they do is they tell you stuff like they make it legal to put organic on something that's not FDA approved when it's not FDA approved because in an FDA approved laboratory, like dumb stuff like that. So the best thing I've found is that, listen, pay attention to what's in everything you eat. And if you can make that yourself, try to do that. And even if you do have to eat some of the bull crap, right, make sure that you're doing stuff like, you know, drinking water that got like cilantro in it to pull out all those heavy metals out your blood system every day. Like, because you know,
put little herbs and cucumbers in their water like that, like add that to your water. I know what you're talking about.
Water, because people think
cucumber.
People think it's just a spice. No, that herb pulls heavy metals out of your system. And when you take that in on a daily basis because you know what you eating, that'll help. But the thing is, you can't keep just indiscriminately eating stuff and not understanding like what you're eating. For instance, I used to love Ritz crackers. Love Ritz crackers. And
Sorry,
then
the
I
lightly salted, that's still my thing. That and what and look, white cheddar Cheez-Its. I can't lie. That's my I love white cheddar Cheez-Its.
let me tell you something. Okay. Ritz crackers is illegal everywhere in the world. And when you know what's in those crackers, you'll understand. Like, them crackers will have you.
Hold on. So what should I be looking for on here? What should I be looking for? What should I be looking for on this?
Download the Yuka app, right? And then scan the barcode. And it's like 20 something toxins in that, right? And then tell me which one of the toxins, when you click on each one and they tell you what's gonna do in your body, you ain't gonna eat another Ritz cracker in your life.
So
I'll tell you that right.
Let me ask you this. So what is this thing about? So how Godfrey was saying earlier with how like medications and how we are more affected. So all of these things we're talking about with the Yuka Act, is that something for everybody, like the others included, or does it really affect just us?
Well, no, the Yuka app is an app where it's for the people by the people. So basically, all of the products that's produced, right? There is basically a litmus test to see, okay, is this product like something you should be consuming? And if if it is any toxin in it, right? It legally they have to keep them honest, stuff like that. So that's not about any particular group. You just know what you eat. All right. Now the other thing is this: when it comes to what the guy said, and I did hear you earlier about that. What he's saying is coming from a racist position. However, what he's saying is actually, and the reason why I'm gonna say is that
it's racist, but it's true. So he's truly a racist. Break it down.
Yeah, pretty much. He's truly racist. But here's the thing, right? Part of the reason why Black people are used even today in studies, right? Or let's say they're preferably used because the way genetics is set up, we have the most robust system to test on, meaning our system is more resilient than other systems. Other DNA don't act the way our DNA does.
Just
So,
like
it's not to say that we're better. It's just to say the way our genetics is set up, we have a resistance to some things that a lot of groups don't. For instance, our bones are more fortified just naturally than other people. So that is a lot of study that go into why our bones are like that to help other people's bones be better. So that is true. But the problem is people was doing the most back in the day. And now, but a lot of the times right now, the studies that they doing isn't to help Black people. The studies that they're doing on Black people is to help other people only. Like tropical medicine that affects us isn't necessarily the point of the study. So this is where the issue comes in at. I will say this: I've seen a study on African American DNA specifically, and it has been postulated in the study that because of the percentage of African American DNA that belongs everywhere, it's created a new genetic pool that is better equipped for certain things, certain toxins, certain medicines, certain environments. And they say that when you have a genetic pool that's based on all the best things from every group, you get what's called super genetics. And this is what they're finding amongst African Americans, because as you know, to be African American, you can't be 50% white, nor can you be more than 25% white. You see what I'm saying? It has to be a certain balance. It's a certain balance that when you get that right balance, for some odd reason, the genetics is like on fleek. So, you know, what he's saying, it's true. It's just he ain't really flushing that out.
So let me ask you this from what you know, because I know you like to definitely study more back in the ancient, like, you know, the Egyptian stuff and African culture to a degree. So, you know, the part when I was speaking on as far as, you know, I would love to have your input on this part. When I was speaking about how medicines, it's like was it a certain amount of spirituality in the medicine back then, like how it's changed? Like, think about it. The medications now have so many bad side effects. We all see the commercials where they'll tell you take this for that, but then they say may cause blindness, may cause stool irregular, may cause this and that. But back in the day when we used to have, whenever we had the same type of ailments and we would heal these things, we didn't have all of these side effects and medicines that tear your body up. What is the difference?
The difference is they didn't have as many medications on the market back in, let's say, the 50s and the 60s, right? A lot of your medications were basic bases. You see what I'm saying? For instance, like they didn't know about certain diseases, like for instance, HIV. Nobody understood what autoimmune was. They just knew something happens, and thus there was no medication for that. There was no exotic toxins coming from other parts of the world to America, let's say in the 1800s and early 1900s. That sort of trade wasn't even set up. So the population wasn't exposed to as much. So therefore, you're not curing as much and you don't need as much to cure what you have. So it's like, this is where we're at. However, with the new advent of technology, you have people saying, for instance, there's certain diseases that are coming from other countries. It's being more proliferated amongst other groups because of interracial mixing. That's a thing. Sorry to say it. Okay. That's a thing. And so when you have for instance, Black people catching cancers that when you go to Africa is virtually missing. That's because of 1, our environment, 2, the genetics we mixed with, and 3, the foods that we're intaking that isn't really built for our makeup, just in general. And I'll be honest with you, human evolution is not moving as fast as the human ingenuity when it comes to technology.
Right.
So you can expect some hiccups like that. You can definitely expect that. But right now, the adverse effect is the human body is like the universe. You might understand one law, but you don't understand the law within the law. You just understand, okay, I know this cures that. Like for instance, there was I forgot the medication that they you took it for diabetes, but it made your hair grow. They didn't understand that. Or something like that, right? So now they started using that medication to make your hair grow, but people realize when you use that medication, it make you lose weight because of the glucose issue. But see, that's what I'm saying. You understand that this chemical is doing one thing, but that chemical don't stand alone. And this is what I'm saying. Like if you want your body to be in this optimal shape, you have to actually take care of it. And taking care of it isn't necessarily giving it medication on an emergency basis. Right. Like if you live a certain lifestyle where you're drinking a lot of water, you're not Black people, we can't deal with dairy. It's genetically, it's just not for us. I mean, certain things like that, you're gonna be guaranteed that you're not gonna have certain gut issues, which is where a lot of our diseases come from. So the more we're whatever it is, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of people don't like to cook like we used to have to cook with them big ass pots everywhere. A lot of people like, the frozen, the microwavable food, all of that, and that's fine to a degree. But again, when you see what's in that, I'm telling you, go look at what's on that. You can add for everything you put in your mouth. Just scan the back, and you gonna start not buying a lot of shit. I'm telling you right now.
So let me ask you this. Now, this is the thing about it though, Lola. We all know that when you want to go to places like the moms and yes markets and all of that, it costs. That's going to run you.
Yeah.
That's going to run you a lot more than all these. Okay.
Yeah.
So my point is that so we know that not everybody has it like that to go ahead and like I can't afford the things that I do get like stuff. I can go get that.
Let me correct you there, right?
You froze. Hold on. You talking still? Dang it, girl, you froze. Just give her a second. Lola, you might have to come back. If you can hear me, you stuck. Just come right back. Reset. Let's give her a second. Let me go ahead and pull this. Let me see something. Yeah, she stuck. You froze. Let me see something here. Something. Yeah, she stuck. You froze. I already know. Yeah. All right, there we go. Hold on. So yeah, try it again. I'll wait for you. See what we got here. Hold on, let me pull this. Wow. Let me see what we got. I'll give her a few minutes. Let me see something here. One moment, y'all. Okay, now. Let me go ahead and pull this back up. There we go. Now I had to run and go get some water myself. Forgive me, you all, for that abrupt cutoff. I already know that's how it is. That's that going live in the car life. I already know what that's like. But anyway, yes. So I have been having my wonders about exactly how that works and everything else when it comes to like the different medicines, so on and so forth. So that's always been a concern. So what I'll do is I'm gonna play one more short just to give her a few moments, and then we'll go ahead and call it a day. I'll be back a little bit later because I got me a live show I'm going to do later today. So let me go back here. Let's go ahead and I'll finish this one. He was getting all them daggone things. He was getting every last one. I don't even know if he finished this. I'll just go play it again. All right, so let's do it. I don't know why they did my man like that, but I mean, he did it though. He happy as shit to tell you what these burgers are.
There's this dude, a big boy. I call him a big boy, all right? A big boy. And he's blindfolded. And this guy's having him do a smell test on which burger is which from different fast food restaurants. And he's nailing this shit. I mean, Stevie Wonder couldn't do this shit. I mean, he's nailing it. He's slipping one. That's
What's up, fam?
Hey, I'm here. I think I was coming through with the righteous sound of it, and then my joint.
We all know Lola got the worst internet.
All over the city. I'm telling you now. I need to change this phone to friggin' AT&T or something. Or Verizon, really. So what I was saying was, on the point of affordability, right? I must say that people can afford the food. It's just their priorities. Like, you notice people, when you go to a regular market, right? And this is no distance if you fit this description listening to this. You'll see a lot of women, for instance, right? With a lot of expensive hair, right, on their head, and a lot of expensive nails, like they rich as fuck or something, and all this expensive makeup caked on their face. And then you'll see their carts full of boxed food and shit that's been processed like a motherfucker. Wow. You understand? And that's the cheapest food. That is the cheapest food. Meanwhile, you go to the other neighborhoods, you see the chicks in there, they don't got all that expensive hair as much and nails and shit like that. But you see them in Mom's Organics, you see them at Wegmans, you see them up at those expensive stores where they get that good food at. And they got them choices and shit.
And they got on Skechers.
They got on Skechers, flip-flops, all that. Yeah, dollar flip, all that. Like, but see, that's what I'm saying. Your priority, like, is where you gonna spend your money. So when people say I can't afford the natural cereal because it's $5.99 a box versus $3.99, like come on, yeah, yes you can, you just don't want to.
I wanted to ask you about this too, because this was definitely a concern of mine. I don't know if you caught the segment when I was talking about the pastors.
The what?
When I was talking about the pastors.
Yeah.
So the whole like buy me a Movado, the whole nine, like, all right, so how do you see a person like when you're put in that position? All right, first of all, do you believe most people who call themselves pastors are pastors?
Say that again.
Do you believe that most people that call themselves pastors these days are really pastors?
I'll say this, right? When you call yourself anything, you identify with it, this is the beginning of the end. You feel me? This is where the lies start. Because for what it's worth, right? I never heard Jesus identifying as anything. Not at all. I didn't even hear him say, I am your Lord. For real. But he is the epitome of, leadership. Yet, at the end of the day, he's calling everyone to understand the concept of leadership through pastoral, which is sheep herding. And that's just how they lived their lives back then. And that's how they viewed the world. It's like, when you say I'm a pastor, it's like, no, you can equally be the devil's agent, like in a split second. So why would you identify as a pastor? But beyond the identification, right? Like to the point of like telling people, because I'm a pastor, you need to pay for me to do something. Let me tell you something. Part of the reason why pastors are doing this crazy stuff that they doing, and it's almost like they don't even believe in what they're saying. It's just crazy, like that. It's almost literally like they are atheists, literally. Is because there's money involved. At the end of the day, I don't believe as a pastor, right? If you're doing this because God called you to do it, you should be doing it for free. Period. You should have your regular job, and you should be doing it for free. And this way, you can actually minister and pastor people. Like, you should be doing it for free. Ain't nobody paying you no salary to be talking about God. Here's the thing. Like when you really look at a salary for talking about God, who said that you the arbiter of truth? Who said that? For somebody to be paying you as a subject matter expert. Who said that? How do I know? This is what I'm talking about. And we have enough, let's say, examples of why, like, I'm not even accepting that. And so I get it. Some people would like to make that their whole life. Like, all I do is pastor a church or whatever. But no, you should take your ass to fucking work and do what everybody else is doing and do your, let's say, your civil duty to your God and preach the lessons that you've learned that through your free God to these people for free. That's what you should be doing. I don't believe in that. This is why it's just too much money involved in this, and it's corrupting. And the Bible literally says that. Literally, like the minute you want to sit and make something about money, that's the minute you're not going to have anything authentic.
That's why I say, when one lives in accordance to man, you will never be rich. And when one lives in accordance to nature, you will never be poor. Now, let me ask you this: healing, all right? Because I know that you study a little bit, and you have definitely a very much so unorthodox take on the whole thing, because you are a believer. It's just you're like myself. You just don't go for anything that they tell us. Healing. Like when you see how they be like just smushing hands on people, folks jumping out of chairs and hopping over pews and pillars and stuff. Do you think it looked like that when the Son of Mary, the Messiah, did it?
No. And
like when you said, take your bed up and walk, right? So when he was saying, all of these things, right? So just like, I mean, honestly, I just really don't know when he was saying that. Did it, did it look like this right here? Like, did it look anything like this? I don't know what I'm just saying, did it look like that?
No. And here's the thing. When it comes to bringing people, it is very much a mockery, but it's a mockery of something that is, this is what I'm saying, something can be so true that it's scary. Inside the Bible, one of the things, and I had this conversation with my father once, right? It's Jesus said that the things that I do, you will be able to do and greater. And one of the things that he did, the greatest thing he did, according to most people's opinion, was to bring people back from the dead, right? And even inside of that, he made it clear, nah, that ain't even as much as the shit that you're gonna be able to do. Like, he made it that he didn't even talk about it like it was anything worth really talking about. So it was such a small thing to him. And so I asked my father, I said, Dad, do you believe you can bring somebody back from the dead exactly as Jesus said? Just believe that you can. And he said that he had trouble answering that, and he's a full-blown Christian. And so the thing is, right, calling consciousness back to a body is a science that we don't understand. It's a science, but it has everything to do with the movement of consciousness. Now, this is something that's being heavily studied under the government, okay? Meaning at that place where, Elon can't get to. That place. So, okay. Yeah. So the thing is, what these people on the screen is doing is utilizing people's ignorance, right, to just gain money, and that's it. Because too many people are not intelligent enough to test the spirit, as the Bible says. This is how I test the spirit. Show me a body that's been drained of all its blood, and I can see that it don't have no blood in it, and the embalming fluid is all up in that joint, right? It gives me that body, and then let me see that body cold. Let me test it, and then let me see you put your hands on it and do what Jesus did, and let's see what happens. Because I can look at those bodies and tell they all lubed up. Now, when the last time you seen a dead body where the skin is just intact and it don't look no different?
Nah, that's true. You are gonna have a slight pale to you the whole nine. Even right. Just the fact that you've been away from the sun, like you've been inside that little morgue box, all of that, like just a week or so from the sun can definitely do something to you. Yes.
And remember in the Bible when Jesus brought the little girl back, right? What's the first thing he did? He told her parents, as soon as that happened, give her something to eat. She's weak. These people don't look like they've been dead, according to what Jesus said. So as far as I'm concerned, they can get the fuck out of here, or the people that believe that shit can continue believing it. But see, this is the difference between the wheat and the hairs. It's like, nah, what you gonna do is you gonna have to respect Christianity for real before I respect it. Because I'm not even Christian, and I don't play that shit. You call yourself Christian doing shit like that, I'm liable to cut you out just for mocking something so serious. And I'm not Christian.
Mm-hmm. Got you. But you do believe, right? So I mean, but see, that's what I was saying as far as like, so do you believe that a person has to have a religion in order for because a lot of people believe if you're just spiritual with no religion, then you'll be out of bounds. You'll transgress, you'll be out of God's order. if you do not have a religion with your spirituality is what is spoken about a lot, you know. So I do hear that often.
Well, the thing is, that's some people feel like, you know, if they go outside of the little bit of box that they're aware of, that means that, you know, they're outside the realm of God because they don't really see how it's all connected. And that's fine. You're not going to hell because you really don't understand the connectivity of all things. Human beings aren't really all created equal. Some human beings are going to be a different type of man. Other ones are going to operate at a you know, a different level. That comes with the territory. So it's okay that they feel like if you're not Christian, you know, something's wrong with you, or you might not be in a good place. However, that's what gets them through the day, right? But for those who know, you don't worry about people on the lower level that don't understand as much as you. That's not what you spend your time doing. So that's why I'm saying when it comes to that shit right there, it's sad that that's coming off the motherland for real. But at the end of the day, I understand why it's coming off the motherland, because there's something that was missing from the plight of Africa, right? That caused them to kind of regress spiritually. And honestly, I truly believe, and I know what y'all might say when I say this, but I truly believe that when Africa sold its children to its enemies, this is the curse that came on Africa. And if you really think that you can do what happened during the transatlantic slave trade to a whole group of people, and that whole group don't incur any kind of karma, right? Look at Haiti. Look at Haiti. You understand? Like, not even going into Haiti. Okay, look at Haiti. So it's like, no, that right there, it looked crazy to us, but that is what's called karma. Your Africa used to be the center of spirituality, and now it's the last place you want to go to get anything related to the truth. And only people that's outside of Africa can really appreciate the old traditions for real. That is a curse on the continent itself. So it's like, nah, I get it, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not like that. Like it's those who can see will see, and those who are not supposed to see won't. And don't worry about it.
God dang. So basically, all right. So are you basically saying that? So is the curse when the Bible was brought to Africa, or was the curse already set?
No, the curse wasn't about the Bible being brought to Africa. Like, not at all. Because before you had Islam that was brought to Africa way before that. And then we had the trans-Saharan slave trade that's been longer than the transatlantic. So it ain't really because of religion, right? It's not that. It's because Africa is full of different religions, but there's a certain energy that's flowing through all religions that connects them all, right? So it's not about that. But what it is about is because we got individual karma, right? But then you look at group karma, right? The continent in and of itself turned on itself and started seeing that others within their own fam, i.e. tribes, as different human beings that were subservient or not even human at some point. So you got to look at, for instance, the Hutu and the Tutsi, like tribal war that we heard about over there in East Africa. They literally seen each other as animals and tried to kill each other to the point where they didn't exist. And now when you look at East Africa, it's not better. It's actually worse. And it's like, it's not worse because anybody is purposely trying to make it worse, but you really can see how Africa can't get ahead at all. I don't care how much resources they have. They will never get ahead until they reconcile what they have done. America is reconciling what it has done in the past, and it's still on board with that, okay? Like, don't make no mistake about it. But Africa sold its own children. America just took the children. Africa sold its own children. So if you think that Africa is going to go unscathed from doing the treachery that it did on its own people, something's wrong with you. And for everybody to think, oh my God, the white people, listen, if I'm in my house and I'm abusing my children and somebody come and say, you know what, I could use that child in my house. I got some work and they probably would do better with me. listen, I might got my own karma for taking advantage of somebody else's bullshit, but that whoever's in that house got their own karma they got to deal with. So it's not about what people believed on the continent. No, it's about the actions, because that's what the word karma means. It means action. Your actions is what you are going to incur, what you have built up for yourself, the actions you have done. So I don't feel no kind of way about it, because I know even myself, I'm susceptible to the same karma. Like, it ain't no different, you know?
Well, God dang it, Jim. Okay. I get you on that point, yeah, because you know, it's a lot of people that do believe that, you know, we have been, like, I guess you can say, set back. So when you say the karma on those who, so what about those of us who wound up here? Like, so are you, so, because, you know, I'd be confused, like, even when they speak about, like, you know, the tribe of Israel and things of that, you know, Black Israelites and so on. I'm not talking about them necessarily, but like when I think about it, I wonder, like, is this something that's all over the world as far as like us is the Black people who were taken away, right? Who were dropped off somewhere else. Are they the ones that's supposed to be getting their retribution?
I'll say this, right? Retribution, again, there's different levels of retribution. Those who were directly affected, right, by the transatlantic slave trade, those who fell to the wayside in the ocean and the sharks ate them, right? Those who made it to the shores, but then they died of disease, right? Those who were hung from trees for nothing but just existing, right? Those who were killed in riots where they tried to build their own in terms of the Tulsas of the Americas, right? Those people will get their retribution in a different form. And that is beyond essentially my pay grade. But generally speaking, retribution on a physical level is moving in a clockwise circular fashion. So the ones who came to the Americas, right, we are getting our retribution. We lead the world, period. Like, period. Nothing really matters if we're not involved in it. If we say we not fighting in no more wars, America got a problem. If we say we ain't buying no more products, America got an immediate problem. If we really was serious about reparations, all we would do is say, you know what? Everybody, don't buy no more Benzes, none of this, none of that, and definitely let's put General Mills out of business. No more, don't buy no more of their cereal. Suddenly, America, they got a problem. So we lead the world in everything: culture, language, music, like GDP, everything. We lead.
Hold on, because you know you got to understand something. Now, I want you to remember this, okay? So I need you to remember this. So let me go back in here. All right, so. You got to remember this right here. Let me go ahead and get to it. And I hit the wrong one. I apologize. Here we go. So look at this. So leading. Let me see. This right here is the part that gets me. All right, boom. So here we go, right here. All right, so let's just get to this right here. So you tell me what you think, because you said we're leading in culture. So, I mean, what's your thoughts on this right here?
How do you think your music has influenced the Latin music and its culture?
I think that, you know, my family is Jamaican, and Latino and Jamaican are Caribbean people. You know, with tropical people. You know, with people that understand what that timing and that rhythm and that pocket feels like in a way unlike any other culture of people. You know, from the bass lines to the way we choose to place our words as people of the Caribbean and of the tropics. I think that it's just it's something you can't really define in words. It's a feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch Latinos do the South Side of merengue and you see Jamaican people, you know, do they shit it's kind of like something that goes hand in hand. And, you know, it ain't a coincidence that in every urban community, Latino and blacks is there together. That ain't no accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not like you find in every urban community, you know, Middle Eastern and black or Asian and black. You know, you always see Latino and black. And I think we just so a part of each other's cultural significance, not only as tropical people, but even here in the United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture. They shit is all our shit. A bunch of our shit is what makes the U.S. whatever you want to call it. We still don't know what that culture is for the U.S., but it's a mix-up of all of our cultures in it.
Right there.
Let me say this.
Hold on. Real quick. Hold on. Let me go ahead and hit your intro for that.
Oh, hell no. 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 Oh, hell no.
Go ahead.
Hey, now I'm gonna say this about that, right? I'm not gonna put as starch of a no on what he's saying because there is some truth in it, right? Two things can be proved. Here's the thing with what Busta Rhymes is doing up there. He's trying to essentially justify the Latino part of what he's of culture, right? Not the black part at all. So, you know, I hear the dog whistle. I do. But that's exactly what he's doing. And I mean, for whatever reason, he got a right to do that. But yeah, I think now here's the issue with Latino culture. When we and I don't want to get off topic, right? Because I'm going to get back to what he's talking about culture and U.S. culture. But when you look at Latino, right? A Latino is someone who is in part, not full, in part Latin, meaning conquered by Spain. You cannot be Latino if your people have not been conquered by Spain by way of culture and language. Two things that make you Latino. You have to be somewhat a trilateral mix of Taino, meaning the native, black, right, and Spaniard. If you're not that, you can't even be labeled Latino. So my problem with him is this. Their culture, they lost their culture. Period. And I'm saying it. Latinos lost their culture by way of a lot of things, okay? Like, I ain't even gonna hold it. They lost that. So to say, well, the Latino influence is like, sir, get the fuck out of here. And I mean that very literally, okay? Get out of here. All right, I got better things to listen to. All right? So now we can deal with the whole black thing. Caribbeans, like Brazilians, like African Americans, we influence, let's say, European culture on the American continent, period. Right. So when he say America doesn't have any culture, what he's talking about is Europe. And he's not really educated enough to know that unless you're talking about Native Americans, right, you're talking about European culture that came over here. So the American culture that we have today is not European culture by far. It's African American culture supplanted over European culture. That's what that is. You understand? So it's like, for instance, the cowboy culture, right? That's all African American culture right there. From the way they strung those fabrics together to the way they wore those hats. That was not European culture. Nor was that Native American or Mexican culture. So it's like, let's stop there for a hot second. Now, when we talk about, like I said, we lead in everything that we put our hands to, I don't mean African Americans on the North American continent. I mean all of the diaspora. All of the diaspora, period. Whether we talking, no matter where we're talking about. Because you can't tell me that Africans on the continent, right, is doing better than Africans, quote unquote, in the diaspora. You can't tell me that. No. Because I'll be honest with you, right? African Americans, for instance, we get picked on a lot. But if we had a whole continent with resources on it, do you really think we wouldn't be doing some serious business? No. Listen, we be running shit. But right now, we doing more with nothing, frankly speaking, than they are with everything.
So you
So
talking
I
about
was like, no.
you talking about this, Lola? I mean, am I on or something?
Oh no. Is that the original term cowboy was a derogatory term.
See, the white man was the cattleman. The black man was the cowboy. He used to say, hey, boy, go get that cow there, cowboy.
People that weren't black that were called cowboys, it was an insult. They would call them ranch hands, cow punch, or whatever. But a cowboy was a name exclusively for the black people or the slaves that took care of the cows.
And then, but the name got to be so popular that the whites started calling themselves cowboy also. So what became a nickname, what was a nickname for black, became a popular name for all the cowboys.
So it must have been something about the way the original cowboys did their job that made that term become popular, or it made it be an honor to be a cowboy.
Yeah, that right there. That right there. That's what I'm talking about. So when he talked, right, when Busta Brown talked, understand his objective is to infiltrate his conversation with his family members that he believes are quote unquote Latino mutts. That's what he's trying to do. He's not trying to talk about the quote unquote African or black side of anything. He's talking about the black and brown, right? Whatever the hell that is. That's what he's doing. And honestly, right, and I don't mean no harm, but a lot of people like him that got that lineage thing going on in the Caribbean, they got that problem where they want to ally themselves with people that have literally done nothing for them, and talk about how different they are from, let's say, North American black. Meanwhile, listen, we can go back and forth between slave riots all day long, but if you want to act like you would be free in the Caribbean if it wasn't for what took place on the North American continent, you are crazy, and I don't have no words for you. I'd rather you die in ignorance so that we don't have to deal with you or your progeny anymore. So I hear Busta Rhymes, but I understand what his objective is, and his objective is not to sit and spread knowledge of the truth of a people and culture. He wants to separate himself, because when I went to Jamaica, right, they didn't separate themselves from African Americans. That's not what they do. They didn't say, "Oh, we so different, our culture versus your culture." It was on that we all are one shit. Things that we all come from each other, we all into each other. That's what it was. But that was back in the early 2000s, late 90s. But it's like nowadays, now that you got social media, you got this different, like, I don't know what to call it at this point, because it's not a movie, okay, because it ain't going nowhere. But you got this different idea rolling around that people are adopting, because now it's let's say it's politically expedient to do so. It just is. Like, I heard about the whole Latino Puerto Rican hip hop situation, and what I'm saying is, I grew up in Baltimore City, and I grew up listening to California hip hop, Southern hip hop, New York hip hop. You see what I'm saying? Baltimore hip hop, which is different. I grew up hearing it all, and I have never remember anybody that claims to be Latino or Puerto Rican at all. Like, the closest I came was Fat Joe, and only because for some reason nobody really knew he wasn't all the way black. I found it out recently. So it's like, come on now. Right. Like, one or two people, like I'm just saying, one or two people, Big Pun. Like, Big Pun wasn't rapping like he was like straight up Latino. No, he might have threw some Spanish up in there, but he
right. He might have, sprinkle. It was a sprinkle, but nah, that main dish was us, definitely.
Pretty much. And here's the thing, I respect that though. I respect that, because nowadays, for instance, the hip hop artists in France, they do the same thing. You feel me? Like, they all over the world, they do the same thing. So essentially, they pay homage with using the English. So I'm cool off that, but let's not get it twisted. Okay, there was no such thing as a 50% break off between two cultures that came together that created hip hop. Like, stop it. Busta Rhymes, don't get canceled out here. You're too old now.
Okay. Let me ask you about this final thing here. What do you think about us being at war right now with the cartel?
With the cartel?
Yeah, with the cartel.
Let me tell you something. The real war with the cartel don't have nothing to do with black people. And really, we're not even caught in the middle for real. The problem with the cartel is a lot of the drugs the cartels is pushing is killing white people. And it's killing white people at a rate that they're not comfortable with, period. Now, when the cartels were selling all sorts of stuff to us back in the 70s, in the 60s, and in the 80s, right? Nobody felt like it was a problem because enough of us are still living, we're dying off by drug use, you feel me? Like when the soldiers came back, they was all addicted to drugs. Nobody felt like there was a war going on, but now suddenly that you got a bunch of white people dropping dead over drug use. Oh, no, we at war with these people over there. This is what I'll say about it. I'm minding my black business. At the end of the day, them cartels don't mean my people no good. At the end of the day, them white people are not upset because a couple black people died last year from drug overdose. They're not mad about that. It's not what it's about. So as far as I'm concerned, them white people fighting their own battles, and really for me, it's just white on white crime. So I can't be upset that the Latinos, okay, bust around, is up here at war trying to push drugs, not hip hop, into America.
She said not hip hop. I can't even front. That's facts though. Because when you think about that from that standpoint, that is the case. Like, that is what's being pumped. But look, my whole thing is this, right? My whole thing is, I do believe that there is a mixture in these things as well. Like I said, I do, I found out on my grandfather's side. On my father's side, my great grandfather, something. He was Cuban, dark skinned Cuban. The Native American, that's my mother's side. Black Native American, that's my mother's side. So it's like, but I have much more deep rooted on my mother's side than my father. So my point is that I do notice that there's a mixture of these things, but what I do notice as well is that still, regardless, like anybody who's Dominican or whatever, they're going to say that that's what they are. Like they'll say they're Haitian or they're this or that, they're African, whatever it may be. And the only thing that I do wonder is that out of everybody who has gone through the hardships, why is it that, think about it, like Jamaicans have had their deals. They had a war on that island before it became what it is. The Haitians definitely had their thing. Africa is still going through stuff, all of that. But everybody still does at least know their roots except us. Why are we the only group, out of all the different groups of blacks, why is this group in particular the only one who completely off? Even a lot of the blacks in the UK at least got still some of, they know where their, background and stuff is. How come a lot of us can't go past the grandfather?
Well, okay, I'll disagree on the premise of that, because to say one doesn't know their roots, right? One has to understand, well, what are we talking about in terms of roots, right? Some people would say all human beings got roots in Africa, and if we all know that, then we all know our roots. But see, we know we're not talking about this, right? We're talking about cultural roots. Now, truth be told, before the transatlantic slavery, there was no such thing as our culture as it is, period, right? This culture emerged as we emerged. Okay. So African American DNA is not thousands of years old. This is a rather new thing. But our DNA is unique, period. Our culture is unique. The way our songs
human. We're really a new breed, human in a sense. Yeah. We are a whole different breed of human.
Go to any medical journal. They will tell you that African American DNA is not the same. It's not in the same group. Literally, it's not the same. It might be similar, but it's not the same as Africans, Caribbeans, anywhere else. That's not the case. Now, when we talk about Caribbeans, right? Never mind what the word Carib means, okay? But Caribbeans, right, know just as much about their quote-unquote roots as we do here. They know just as much. Like, they understand that they are the only difference between them and us is a boat ride. That's it. So how is it that they are more connected to their roots? What do they do more than African Americans when it comes to being connected to their quote-unquote roots? It's like we all know that not a whole lot of Africans in the slave market even came up to the Americas. Most of them was in Brazil. And I mean that by
Well,
80%.
they say, Lola, what they say is this, but what they say is that they know because they're more deeply rooted in their like original, I guess, like how they used to, well, put it like this, original tongue. So they know that, I'm telling you what said, food, tongue, and clothing, like the like they know their original garments and traditions.
No,
it's what
that's a lie.
said
That's a lie. No, that's a lie. What African language do Jamaicans speak?
No, I mean, Jamaicans speak.
Okay, let's go. What African language do Africans in Brazil speak?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What African language do Africans in Mexico speak? Okay, let me go to another one. What African language Africans in Colombia speak?
Espanol.
Right, hold on, and I'm about to give you one last one. What African language do Africans, the Gullah Geechees, speak? Oh, that's a different one. That's where the preservation came in. Why is that? So we can't find nothing African in all these between two continents, but yet for some reason they're closer to their roots than we are. How? How? Here's the thing, right? Jamaicans, they had drums that we didn't have based on the metals that they produced down here, right? We had banjos. Based on what we had.
Folks do not know the banjo is us originally. I knew we got the image in our head. I was shocked about that. No, the banjo, that's like, I think it's an African. Banjo is African. It's black. It's something. That's originally us.
That's the thing. We everybody is improvising and adapting based on where they're at and what they have access to. So for someone to say Africans or let's say just Caribbean versus North Americans versus South Americans, right? All the black people between these three separate circumstances. Right. To say, well, one is closer to Africa than the other one, like that's a lie. African study wasn't even a thing until African Americans made it a thing. So who's closer to what? Who? For instance, the idea that Egypt was not a white settlement comes out of the African American tradition. Period. The idea that Mansa Musa was an actual historical figure worth preserving didn't come out of Africa. These books were written in English by our scholars. Period. Let's not forget that. Okay? Like the freedom, the idea of freedom did not exist before us. And truly, it did not exist before us. We put that on the map. Everything you think about when it comes to freedom comes out of our culture, comes out of our spirit. So what are we talking about? Closer to whose root? We got our own root. Okay, that's what we call when they say, "Oh, you thought you made hope, now I'm about to make another hope." This is where we at. We made another hope. Okay, that's what we did. This is where we at. So now I don't want to hear that, oh, for Jamaicans are their own thing. Jamaicans or Haitians, they're closer to their roots. It's like, what roots? What food do they eat? They eat food that grow in Jamaica and Haiti. We eat food that grow here. What roots? Crazy ass shit.
Okay, so all right, so the thing is that, like, even with like when Kai Cenat was saying, like, he's like, you're not Haitian, you're not this, you're not from anywhere else, you're not UK or anything, you're just regular black. So the thing about it is that I do get that that's what's said, but then I say to myself, there are a lot of Asians who love the Michael Jackson replication. Heck, in Street Fighter, Balrog is supposed to be Tyson, because they were such a huge fan of him. So what I'm saying is that I do recognize that although it was said that we don't have it, but yet I be asking people, then what is that called that everybody's copying all over the world? What's that called? When I see a group of Asians that can break dance and pop lock and they spinning on boxes, I'm just asking, okay, so what is that called?
It's one would think that it's called appropriation, but it's not really appropriation as long as they're not taking ownership in terms of identity over it. For instance, when we wear colonial clothes, right, in different areas of our lives, we're not saying we originated colonialism and colonial culture, but we in a sense, we we utilize that aspect of it because of how it's utilized within our own culture. But you will never hear African Americans claiming we created men wearing bow ties and fluffy shirts and stuff like that. Like we wear it, sure we have, but we ain't the originators of that, and we ain't never claimed it.
Wow. Okay. I see what you're saying on that part, because see, the thing is, I've always noticed that like we do like, and then, you know, even down to like, you know, they say a lot of stuff like, oh, the food and stuff, like they say like, basically, that's very strong. I want you to think about it. What's the number one thing we gotta do if ever we travel anywhere else is try what? The food. And so basically that's one of the main factors that they speak about as well. And I'm gonna tap in on this one as a chef, but they say that we don't have culture as well because our food is just regular American food, like our mac and cheese. All of that's yeah, it's American. Like basically, like soul food, that's American food.
Oh yeah, it is. And two things can be true. It is American food, but our culture is the American culture. Like when you think about America, you're thinking about black people. You're not thinking about the little bit of Europeans that came over here with that bland shit. You're thinking about us. It just so happens that white people put their face on it. Okay, but what you're really thinking about is us. That is all us. For instance, my son's grandparents, they're from Africa, right? And every time they come to my house, they ain't looking for no African food. They looking for that African American taste over there. Okay, period. All right, they like listen. Listen, I'm telling you right now, they love their food and their cuisine is great. But when they are in African American spaces, they looking for some African American food. Don't come up there with no jollof or none of that. You better come up there with them peas and everything else that you know we eat. So it's like, let's be clear about something. Our culture is American culture. You don't get it twisted. Even the Italian and the German culture here is our culture. Okay, and you ain't going to Italy and seeing what we do here. What we do here is our culture. Period. Like cheesesteaks, the pizza, that's us. Okay, that's us. Stop it. That's us. That's American culture. That's black culture. Okay. Those bowls that KFC got, that's our shit. Okay, we did that. We was doing that before KFC saw us doing it and then did it. Okay, that's our shit.
Absolutely. But see, I mean, that's why I was like, so like the Colonel's original recipe. You trying to tell me the original Black Cowboys did that first? That's what you telling me?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Okay. Like let's be clear. This is what I'm saying. Like the whole idea of let's say eating low on the hog and our cuisine, hog maws, chitlins, tails, tongue, ears, all of that. Now you pay top dollar for our cuisine that comes from slavery. Okay, don't get it twisted. American culture is our culture. Don't you ever sit and think that we don't have no culture because you see white people on commercials. They representing our shit. Okay, and honestly, sometimes they doing a good job of it. But let's not get it twisted. That's our shit.
Really? All right. Okay. I get you on that. Let me see this right here. So let's just see what they say about this one part right here. Before I get about it, I'm gonna go get some going for the evening soon. Yep, because I gotta make it early. All right, so hold on. Here we go. Right here. So, right. Oh, and last thing, and what's your? Do you believe that like we should keep Black History Month in school?
Say that one more time.
Do you also believe we should keep Black History Month in schools before I push play?
I think
there are benefits.
I think if your population of Black children is 50% or more, then yes. For instance, if your population was 50% or more of Spanish, you should use Spanish Heritage Month or whatever. If it's 50% more of Asians, definitely you should have an Asian Heritage Month. Period. Right. Like that's a mandatory. Yeah, you gotta have that. Now, if you want to have other stuff, that's good, but you definitely should have it under the.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this right here. Let's see what they're talking about when it comes to like soul food.
Right now, we're gonna dream about chowing down. Yeah, well, frankly, we're missing our grits. We're missing our collard greens. Whose fault is that?
Hold on. So I'm thinking about this. Hold on. So you telling me that the typical spread of a Thanksgiving dinner is us?
Mm-hmm. Even the recipes, I'm gonna be honest with you, even the recipes on the European food is us. Like, it might be European in its origin, right? But the recipe itself that everybody likes, that's African American right there. So even our sauce on their food is our culture. So that's what I'm saying. I ain't hearing nothing to nobody when it comes to African Americans, or let's say people in Africans in the diaspora, people in general, having or not having culture. We all have culture. When you go to Brazil, that's a different culture right there, but we still essentially are the same. They just in a different place and it came up different. Same things all over the diaspora. But what I'm not going to do is sit here and say Brazilians don't have culture. Africans in Haiti don't have culture. People in St. Croix don't have culture. People up in Canada, for instance, black folks up there don't have culture. African Americans don't have culture. Like, that's not what I'm about to do. But it's like some people want to feel like they better because truthfully they're not better. They're pretty much subpar. Like, I'll be honest, I never went around feeling like I had to tell people, like right here on this show. She ain't up here telling people I'm African American and our food is better. She just saying, yo, we got to step up what we got to have. She not talking about how European chicken don't taste like ours. She ain't talking about how the beans that, some of these other people make be on some other stuff. She not doing it. She just representing what she know is that good. So this is what I'm talking about when people want to put African Americans down. It's pure jealousy. That's all it is.
Wow. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see what we got.
Well, let's talk about sharing our stories and talking about soul food. It's sponsored, by P&G brand Puffs Tissues. Just FYI.
Soul food, by the way, one of the most popular and recognizable types of cooking to come out of the United States, with recipes and dishes that are often passed down through generations. Our Nick Smith got to sit down at a soul food restaurant. He ate his fill. He's going to report back to you now.
Absolutely. Well, soul food's roots reach deep into the cotton plantations of the antebellum South. It's an early fusion cuisine that was heavily influenced by both climate and ingredients made available to
So hold on. Let me just salute. So, respect to you, Brody. How you feel?
I'm all right, man. It's a little cold day out here in Cali, but I'm good. Yes,
it's like 60 degrees out there. Come on, ass here.
You know what, Lola? It's not my fault that you want to be where you're at, okay?
Let's go.
People. It is born of native ingenuity and cooked from the heart.
All right, so soul food being us, real quick. So this is all right. So soul food being us, and that being what it is that we do. I'm trying to figure this out. Then do we kill ourselves with our own food?
No, they kill us. They killing us with them toxins. If our food didn't have them preservatives and that coloring in it and whatever the hell else them toxins is, our food wouldn't be doing anything but making sure we stay healthy. That's about it.
It is very, very, it's a different kind of feeling than when you get like something from a drive-thru. It's a different kind of food. It is.
That's what I'm saying. If you ate soul food every day, you might be big. You might be big eating soul food every single day, but one thing you ain't gonna be is sick.
So what you got for that?
It's as Sis was saying, it's the way that the food is prepared and what's put inside of it. You know what I mean? It's all of the chemicals and things of that nature. And you being a chef, you definitely know that. It's just, being a cook herself, she knows that as well. And most people, they don't know how to cook. They think that you have to cook with all these different things and all these different fats and different things that are processed and everything else. And it's like, no, sometimes you just need some regular salt, pepper, and that's about it. You know what I mean? And you're good to go. You don't need all these other things. You know what I mean?
I like seasonal myself. I'm a seasonal fan.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, it's all these other things that people are putting in there that we don't even need, or even, or we just been told that we have to, eat certain things a certain way. And it's like, nah, I don't have to do any of that. I can eat this way. It's perfectly fine. It's a lot more healthier. You know what I mean? And it's the way that they farm the animals as well. If the animals are farmed in the right way,
that is very big.
I mean, that makes a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take
But
on
they
it.
feed them and everything. Like, you guys remember that mad cow disease?
Yeah, I remember.
Yes, sir.
You know, because they was doing some bad stuff. You know, that's why. I mean, me personally, I'm more of a oxen, goat, bison, lamb type guy myself. I will eat beef, but I do make a very select choice of what I buy.
Right.
And
that's commendable. But the issue we have in here, right, is every single day we have to defend the fact that we have culture, and we have to remind people of the history, which is why, honestly, I understand why Jewish people, for instance, do what they do, because people's memories is real short, for real. So it's like you got to constantly remind people of what time it is and what time it ain't. And I see it every day. Like, there was something going around on one channel with these two African ladies. Well, they I don't know where they from, but they over there, and they were talking about how Americans just don't have no culture because they don't know where they're from. Meanwhile, they don't feel that way about no other people in the world except for the little bit of African Americans that live here on this like side of town. And I'm saying, why are you focused on the smallest group outside of Africa on the planet? Like, and you worried about whether or not they know where they're from? Like, we all know that we come from. A lot of us, let's say, have some genetic tie to Africa. However, what people fail to realize is there were us here before the transatlantic slave trade. And I don't mean as in the chinky-eyed Native American either. So it's like, let's stop acting like that history never existed. We have to constantly keep reminding these people of what and who we are. So as far as I'm concerned, really, it's a matter of they're not educated. But it's just something African Americans educated on everybody else's history, but nobody's educated on that.
What you got for that, Salt?
When it comes to the history or just indigenous people being separated, whether it's us that are here, you know, stateside, or it's us that are in the Caribbean or in Latin America or wherever you are in the diaspora, Africa itself, those things are systematically done. You know what I mean, by oppressors and colonizers. So it's systematically done, and you know you'll have a set of people who look like us or favor us, and they could be from wherever, and they'll say, oh well, the black people over there, you know, I'm from you know, Jamaica, man. Them Trinidadians over there, oh, you can't trust them. You know what I mean? Even though we're right next to each other.
Yeah.
But it's that separation.
Right.
Oh yeah, I know I live in Baltimore, but them brothers in Virginia, oh yeah, don't mess with them.
Right.
It's like, what, you right there?
No, Steve, that's not us. That's not us. I gotta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, but I'm not picking on Baltimore itself. I'm not picking on Baltimore itself. But what I'm saying, I'm just giving examples, right?
I know.
You messing with it right now, but yeah, these are the things
I didn't do
that
that.
we do within our culture that makes no sense. We are right next to each other. Or, man, you know, I'm from the Bronx, man. Don't trust them Brooklyn dudes over there. It's like, what, like, yo, you know what I mean? Don't your aunt live in Brooklyn? Like, what are you talking about? Like, but these are the things that we do to each other, man. And all it does, it just causes more separation, and it doesn't allow us to be unified, and then we don't get nothing done.
Right. I understand that. All right. Nah, I feel you on that, because, you know, my whole thing was, you know, just like trying to, like, me personally, I say it all the time. I know that we do have culture. It's just, I wonder, why is the rest of the world so huge on saying we don't? But every time I turn around, somebody's copying or doing something of us, all the way somewhere else.
That's always gonna happen, though. That's always gonna happen. You know, they're always gonna borrow from. You know, you'll have a African dance class, and this happens a lot out here in California. You have an African dance class, and it'd be nothing but other folks. You know what I mean? You'll see everything up in there but black. You know what I mean? You'll see white, you'll see Asian, you'll see everything up in there but black. But it's an African dance class, right? You know what I mean? And this has been going on for centuries, though. You know what I mean? We'll have our own society, our own civilization. We farming, we chilling. We done build pyramids or whatever else we don't want to build. And we chilling. We ain't even thinking about them. And they done come over here in their little boat ships or whatever they done got. Now they want to burn down the artifacts, or they want to, you know, take our women, or ask us about our hair texture, or, you know what I'm saying, or take our artifacts. But this has been going on for centuries. This is nothing new. You know what I mean? And they've been stealing and trying to make us seem evil and everything else for centuries. For centuries. You know? So that's why when you say I love a creator and you talk about it being deities and the power of the deities, I understand exactly what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But when you start saying that, oh, he must be evil. Smitty must be evil. Why? Well, why am I evil? Because I understand things are connected. Why am I evil? Because I'm asking why. Right?
You're not supposed to do that.
To ask why, but they can ask all the questions and then give all the answers. You see that?
Yep.
They can ask all the questions and give the answer on top of that.
Yep. And that's generally what takes place with that, yo.
Lola, come back. I don't know where you at, Lola, but come back, please.
But yeah, before I get up, I mean, if you wanted to tap in on the topics I had before as well, as far as either pastors and healing and ego, or if you wanted to comment on the whole thing about how they saying our bodies respond different to the vaccines and the distributions of it.
I think when it comes to the medical system and dealing with that, you know what I mean, we have to understand that the medical system is not provided care for us. It's providing care for, you know, the things that they want to provide care for at the time they want to provide care for.
Right.
You know what I mean? And when it comes to that whole vaccination thing, it's a way for them to control us. It's a way for them to, it's basically population control, basically. You know what I mean? And when you're dealing with the church, I'll touch on that real quick because I know you got to go. When you're dealing with the church, or you're dealing with, you know, people of religious faith and group, a lot of times, you know, you have to watch who you're with, or watch the people who you try to serve with, because you have to really see what their intentions are. You know what I mean? You have to see what the Bible calls the fruits of the spirit. You know what I mean? So okay, yeah, cool, yeah, Smitty, when I see you on Sunday, you my brother. I give you a hug, everything cool. But don't call me on Tuesday. If you call me on Tuesday, I don't know you. If I see you on the street, I'm gonna give you a head bob and keep it moving. But Sunday, I'm gonna give you a hug. I'm gonna ask you how you doing, how your family and all that. But Wednesday, when I see you and you downtown shopping, I'm just gonna give you a head bob and I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean? And this is the culture that we've allowed our church, right? Because I feel like we adopted the church within our community. We allow our church to be. But bro, I'm not gonna keep you, man. You know where to find me. Holler at me behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Much love to you, bro. Love you. I'm gonna definitely holler at you, man. You know where to find me.
I appreciate you. Yeah, definitely. I bet that. Yeah, you know, I'll be live later on tonight or whatever. So I have something I want to talk about. It'll be very entertaining and as well as very educational. But we're gonna have some fun with it. So
definitely, I'll probably stop through. I don't know if I'm actually going out for the festivities of this game, or I'm keeping it inside. I gotta kind of see where my family mindset is at and what they want to do. And wherever their mindset is at is depending on whether I roll or not. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna holler at you, bro. Much love.
All right, Brody. And much respect to you all. I really do appreciate everybody who comes through and just tunes in. Again, this is a space I do everything I can to provide just, a service for you guys. That's about it. And I thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to do so, to be quite honest with you. Like, I do want to make sure that I say that. Thank you for allowing me to go ahead and have something to give for you. All right. So with that being said, you most definitely know it. I digress. My mic is muted. We're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Respect to you all.